What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a new YouTube video, and today we have a bit of a different video. I always show my squat sessions, my primary squat sessions and my heavy deadlift sessions, but I almost never do show my upper body days, or at least I show them more seldomly. So I thought today would be cool to basically take you through the entire upper body day. And we had on bench, or we started off with bench. It was my main bench day today, so to say. Although, given that I'm gonna compete equipped, obviously my real primary bench day is gonna be on Saturday after on Friday after my heavy squats. But still, I have heavy raw bench on these days. And for the top set, we had 167.5, which moved relatively easy, and I was very happy that they moved so fast, even though I just had a taxing equipped session just 2 days prior. Then we did hit some back offs. I would say overall it's definitely a different feeling benching on a normal bench, or like this hammer strength bench rack that is standing in the commercial gym, versus in my hometown club, obviously training on a Eleiko competition bench. Two different entire worlds. Honestly, the problem here is basically that on the commercial gym benches, most often you have a lot of benches that are firstly not properly aligned, and secondly, you usually do slide quite a bit. Whereas on the equipped or in the proper competition powerlifting benches, you usually are almost stuck on there, unable to move with very minimal or with very high friction, meaning that you're never gonna slide really, which makes it infinitely easier to keep your position and keep your tightness. But anyways, we got the bench still done. They moved easily, very happy with that. And then we moved into our first back exercise. I really do like this kind of way of doing low rows. So technically you can imagine there's a low row, unilateral low row hammer strength machine with two handles where you can basically also sit normally on the pad and have a bit of a chest support and then do your rowings, right? But in this variation of this exercise, I picked that up from a bodybuilder in our gym. You are basically sitting a little bit tilted, making it even easier to get a really good stretch in for your lats, while also giving you the ability to, in order to contract properly, rotate your upper thoracic spine a bit, and hence you will get a nice, decent, deep contraction in your lats. At least that's where I feel it the most. I really like this exercise just because of this fact that I can really hit my lats deeply and with intention of them working. So the next exercise we had after that was the meadow rows. So previously in my previous blocks, I used to do this low row machine where we just saw a bit heavier, but with both handles, on the emphasis of moving weight. But now I reduced it again since we're getting closer to the competition and I really do not want to tweak something in my back. I just reduced the weights there and switched to the single arm variation. But after that, I always used to keep infamous meadow rows, which do seem like a very similar movement, which they absolutely are, and they're probably or most likely also targeting most of the same muscle groups. However, I do feel this exercise way more in my upper traps, rhomboids and back of my shoulder, so a bit of a different or higher back area than only my lats. And especially depending on how exactly you pull, I try and really flare my elbows here and not involve too much of the lats that way. Then we move back to a more chest / push focused exercise. As I said before, this day basically is my upper body day. My main bench is on this day, technically speaking, and also most of my upper back and chest accessories as well. We finished off the dips. I just did 3 sets of body weight dips because I haven't done dips in a long time and I wanted to get back into them. I believe my best dip set ever was 5s with 60 kilos. So long way to go from here, but I think we'll have plenty of time in the off season to work on that further. And now in this very nice angle between the legs with someone else talking to his body, I'm doing my lat pull downs. And the gym on that day was very full, so I had very minimal space to film, and I find it really unpleasant to bother other people when trying to film stuff because it makes me uncomfortable. I wouldn't want someone running around with a camera near me or next to me, and so I also don't want to burden these other random people that are just trying to go to the gym with me filming all the time. But I have something cool after the workout that I decided to still film, and that is my shoulder rehab. As you guys might know, I have been having on and off in the last couple of weeks shoulder pains, especially my left shoulder. Due to my anatomy, my left shoulder is a bit more slouched, I would say, than my right shoulder, if that is the right description. So it's a bit more forward tilted. But either way, I implemented, or I started doing these kind of shoulder rehab / rotator cuff activation exercises after the workout, and it had really helped me tremendously to gain more stability and build up my strength in my shoulder and the stabilizing muscles in my shoulder, and to also reduce the pain significantly. So here I did 20 reps for each angle, so to say. So the lowest angle, mind you that I had my hands tilted, so the inside my palms were basically directed towards the ceiling, and then I switched the angle to this 45-degree angle with my palms facing down, and lastly I did it should be proper 90 degrees, although it's not quite 90 degrees when I rewatch the footage here. But what I'm really trying to do is only using, I believe it was 2 kilos, 3 kilos tops dumbbells, really trying to focus on activating and specifically targeting the rotator cuffs without using too much of all the other involved back muscles, specifically the upper traps and so on. I'm really trying to only hit the rotator cuffs, which are a very, very tiny muscle group right in the back of the shoulder, and hence the small weights. These exercises, they all help me really to not only gain the stability back, as I said before, but also open up the shoulders a bit more, give shoulder joint, and also specifically, I believe, the source of my inflammation, the biceps tendon in the shoulder, more space to move and make it less painful overall throughout the training sessions. Also, the last exercise that I'm doing right now, I don't even know what the names for these exercises are, but probably if you Google or search on YouTube for Squat University's shoulder rehab exercises or FBNX shoulder exercises, two of the most famous, I would say, practitioners in physiotherapy, you will definitely get the name, whatever they're called. But this very last exercise is probably my favorite, since I also like to do this one before bench as a warm-up. This one you can just sit on your bench, right? If you're doing bench press, you can just sit on the bench you're currently using, and just doing these rotations will tremendously help with activating your rotator cuffs and priming yourself for this rotation inwards, because what you want to do ultimately on bench is rotate inwards and pull your shoulder blades back down to gain the most optimal tension on the bench press. So yeah, I've felt like including this to show that I'm not only doing heavy movements and I'm not only doing heavy trainings, but I'm also trying to work around injuries, trying to improve lacking muscle groups, trying to constantly help my body stay together, stay put, and stay primed for the heavy days. Really, that was the main message here, and I truly appreciate you guys watching. Wish you all the love, all the power. Have a good one.